My name is Lisa Robyn Wood and I'm the founder of Grip Corporate Coaching, performance coaching and training for leaders, managers and individuals in London and Oxfordshire. I was recently reading an article written by Lee Hecht Harrison and their global master coach, Jennifer Pickeler. And it's about how coaching and leadership training and development are the best form of partnerships. To quote what Jennifer has written, she's quoted that coaching is the glue that really enables leadership training and development to stick for leaders. I think it's such an important subject to explore because leadership is always a hotly discussed topic, and yet I've seen very few organisations really demonstrate how they successfully develop their leaders. And very rarely have I seen it discussed in conjunction with coaching. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my thoughts around this right now. So when it comes to traditional training is very much a tell activity. Similar to teaching when you're in a classroom as a child, you're sat down in front of the knowledge holder, the teacher, the one who's deemed to be most experienced, and you're talked at by them to pass you information that they expect you to absorb and then repeat and reuse. It absolutely has a place. When you're really inexperienced and don't have knowledge in a subject area, you need to be given information as a starting point. That gives you your foundation. It's really critical in school when you're younger. It's also critical in work when you start a new job. When you start a new role, if you're starting right from the beginning, you need to be given some information to work with. The more information, however, you then gather, the more you grow and your experience matures, the less really you need to be told, the more you need to be empowered to think and utilise those skills you have, to exercise the skills you have and the knowledge, and to really challenge your thinking because you already have a foundation there. Coaching is all about asking. So it's different in respect of training because training is external, it's given to you by somebody else. Coaching is really exploring the internal. What do you think? What do you know? What do you think you could do? What do you think would challenge yourself because you know more than anybody else? Because it focuses on the internal, it really encourages accountability because it's enabling you to identify choices that you can take responsibility of to put into place. It really helps to build that self-belief and that self-capability, really understanding what your strengths are, because you're demonstrating to yourself what those are when you take action and you see the outcome of your actions, you see the success you can generate. That really reinforces your belief in yourself. This encouraging to think is really brought to life by Dr. Nancy Kline, who wrote a book called Time to Think. And she's quoted, "Thinking for yourself is the thing on which everything else depends." And I couldn't agree more. Utilising coaching to support and embed leadership training really enables leaders to grow. I think it's even better if you support and enable leaders to coach themselves. In leadership positions, you're accountable for people. And when management is required, management techniques are required, there's that element of tell, absolutely. I do think that has a place, but I think what's even more impactful is being able to coach others and empower them to think. Because in turn, you then generate that greater accountability that I talked about before and develop much more effective teams who are self-sufficient. I know in my leadership journey, I arrived in a senior leader role responsible for people management and development with very basic on-job, no formal management training. And that was at the point where I really felt lost and incapable of doing a really really good job as a leader because I just didn't feel like I had the tools. And when I found coaching, that's what I realised I had been missing the entire time. It completely transformed my experience of leadership and the value I was able to add to my team. Not to mention the fact it completely restored and grew my confidence. So I really can't stress enough how much I believe coaching is critical to leadership development. If you're a leader or a manager and you're wanting to learn more about coaching and what it could give you, then get in contact with me and I can see how I can help. Visit www.gripcoaching.co.uk.